All right, and we are back loaded onto Summoner's Rift for this play-ins week 1 action of Aegis Guardians League between Big Duck Entourage and Meme City Paradox. Looking at some rune choices here, Dom, what are some thoughts off the top of your head?
So looking at BDE side to start off with, all looks pretty simple. I really like the PTA on Trundle. Trundle, you can go PTA or Conqueror right now, but PTA just gives you a bit more skirmishing potential, which to me translates that he wants to do this sort of buff Grump. So he wants to go red, blue Grump into Lilia's red side and try and fight her there just so she can get the early game aggression. The phase rush onto Victor is not really something I agree with. I'm not really a fan of phase rush. I would honestly go something like area, to be honest. There's not a lot of good sort of rune choices right now for Victor, but that's my view on that side, to be honest, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see here, Lilia does get that ward off in that top side river. Is going to be starting blue side, so Grand Royal definitely in the position to go for those invades and to go for that kind of early little skirmish, which will definitely be interesting. Minions are gonna reach lane pretty soon, so we'll be going into action anytime now. See here, yeah, pretty standard starts for everyone on the map right now.
Nothing interesting to start off, just as the junglers are starting to do their clears. Like I said, Trundle wants to do this sort of buff Grump into an invade, or he just wants to do some sort of cheese thing to sort of get a lane off guard. In terms of Lilia, since the recent nerfs Lilia, she did get pretty nerfed on her initial first clear due to her Pran stacks going down by one. But coming into the later game, once she gets past her first clear, as you see a gank coming on, as the Vel'Koz does seem to get pretty low and just flashed away from the Trundle pillar. Doesn't really seem to be much interesting going on, but the flash, it's getting that early flash down, especially against Vel'Koz, who is a very immobile champion. So if you look
Yeah.
on your
Sorry, my bad. My mic was sort of bugging out there, but yeah, Buckbeat did get that flash forced out pretty early on. And sorry, you were saying, Dom.
yeah, so Lilia just has now started her work, so she's a bit behind on tempo right now, but should be getting to her red buff soon enough. As the lane states on the side of BDE are starting to get prio. So we can see the Vector slowly starting to push in and control the wave, but Wukong is coming back into him. So we're sort of seeing this mismatch of prio in this top side.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see here, Grand Royal is on that Gromp right now. Is going to get that third clamp clear and will maybe look to meet Rover in that jungle there. See there in the top lane as well. Kush Marbles does have a comfortable lead over Power 04 right now. And does have that level up as well. And, the Wukong into Ornn matchup, definitely as an avid Ornn player, definitely one that I love playing, but really dependent on how it's being played. As we see Buckby might be in trouble here. The Pillar getting caught in the Gravity Storm as well. Buckby no flash once again, so definitely First Blood going over towards Grand Royal. Really good pathing from the side of the Trundle to be able to pick up that kill and abuse the cooldowns on the side of the Vel'Koz. As you see here, Kush Marbles does get that E on towards Power 04, but just a chunk out of health and a huge wave coming in, so definitely a bit dangerous for the Ornn right now.
That was a really good Trundle placement with the pillar there, just to really make sure that the stun from Victor managed to land. That stun is always really pernickety to land just because it takes so long for it to actually activate. So that's really strong coordination there by the Ducks just to get that early game aggression of. It looks like he was going to go for something top side, but has been spotted, he's just going to reset. As bot side are matching with the Scuttle. So Big Ducks have managed to completely double scuttle Mean City, something that, as a jungle main myself, is very tilting. You're just looking at the chat, being FF go next.
Yeah, definitely. Bit of a tilting moment right there, but only one kill, so not the end of the world right now. It is a 700 gold lead for the side of Big Duck Entourage. Ball lane, for the side of Harm Issues and Ateta, definitely doing pretty well against Josie and the Collector here. You see, yeah, just some basic trading going on. Lilia is going to get an invade onto the Raptors as Grand Royal is going to get spotted out on a ward here.
There's really good recognition by the Lilia to realise there's a play going topside due to Trundle being stepping on wards for the past 20-30 seconds. So getting this cross map going because she knows it's a free invade, she knows she can get something back from it. It's sort of nullify any loss that could potentially be going.
Yeah, definitely. And Hook coming in does hit the minion, so it goes wide there. The Infernum Q does go down onto the Collector. Nothing much more trading. See Rover in the mid lane here on towards on cool splash. Does have that flash, but procs the phase rush and procs the gravity storm stun on towards Rover. So good gank from the side of Rover, able to get the cooldown on a cool squash with no mana and no health. forced to recall and most likely teleport back to the mid lane.
Really good play there by the Lilia and especially Rover just to get that sort of gank across, giving Buckby the chance to push lane ends to try and force Victor TP, just to really sort of balance out the sort of early game aggression that really came from Grand Royal.
Absolutely. As you see here, on the side of the top side, Power 4 rushes that plated steel caps into Kush Marbles' Wukong. So far, the lane going pretty even for both top laners here, which is definitely what you like to see. Could be maybe could be a bit more desired if I was playing Ornn maybe, but regardless, map still pretty quiet right now. I'd say it's nothing really gone on ever past that first blood except for that flash in the mid lane for the victor.
Yeah, there's not a lot to go on so far. As we can see, Wukong in the top lane. It looks like he's slowly stacking the waves as it looks like it's going to crash on this wave. It's going to stop just before it. So Wukong now has a perfect window if Lilia can use her Pran stack as quick as possible to get to top lane. We could potentially see a dive on top side, but isn't looking possible. It's action going around the Dragon Pit.
Yeah, absolutely, and without even realizing it, blue team picks up the dragon. Grand Royal picks up that smite there as well, but the heal and flash forced out from the bot lane off Big Duck Entourage Pillar, forced in a position to kind of slow down the side of Meme City, but nothing much going down here. Uncle Squash kind of walking into some dangerous territory, does block the phase rush, has that gravity field to slow down Rover just a bit more, but Bugby trying to do as much damage as possible, manages to just walk away fine. And definitely good pickup from the side of BDE, getting that early tempo and picking up objectives early on in the game.
So getting that early game Ocean Drake's really good. As we all know, Ocean Drake gives you that extra bit of regeneration when you're out of combat. So having this, especially in sort of lane scene going on, especially with against Vel'Koz who wants to the poking, especially Lily who wants to sort of bust you down slow instead of in one go, especially with the Tristana who wants to place that bomb on top of you. This early Ocean Drake is giving the Ducks a real good energy into this next couple of minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see here, both, not much loss from the side of that dragon, just some summoners burnt from the side of Harm Issues and Ateta. But this Aphelios Thresh lane definitely holding its own very well. Neither bot lane has recalled yet, and so definitely we'll look to get some decent buys here. Hook goes wide on top of the Collector, and Harm Issues, Josie Collector, and Ateta just kind of chilling in the bot lane right now. Everyone just getting along real nicely. So you see here, Rover is pathing up towards his top side. No wards spot out the Lilia coming in. Power 4 does get that Searing Charge canceled by the Wukong Cyclone, and it looks like Kush Marbles is able to pick up the kill on towards the Ornn. I see here as well in the bot lane, Juicy jumps on towards Harm Issues, does get that triple bomb charge off, but once again, just not enough damage. So quite a lot of action going on the map here, Dom.
Like this going on. Meme Set said, we've had enough. Trundle got to control the first rotation of jungle camps. Lily is now taking power into her own hands and going for the second one. It looks like they're collapsing on the Trundle around this mid lane.
Yeah, and look here, Rover is level 6, so does get that lilting lullaby off, picks up the kill on towards Grand Royal. Buckby, gets the kill with that Desolator. Uncool Squash might be in trouble here, does get that nullifying orb procced, and it looks like Grand Royal kind of just, walked into vision there, and Meme City knew he was there and punished him.
Really good counterplay there. Trundle was sort of walking in no man's land. They had no right to be there. And now, what essentially has happened now, the full blue top side of the Ducks' jungle has been given over. So it's going to be a lot of good control in terms of XP, as we see the Ornn is slowly collapsing onto them.
If we look towards this top side, teleport coming in from the Victors. All Power 4 does have that Searing Charge flash forced out of Rover, but the Ornn Horn coming in as well goes wide, misses Lilia, but the gravity field is able to slow Rover for quite a long. Flash W coming in from Power 4 as well. Q just keeps Lilia on a sliver of health, and it looks like they're not able to pick up the kill.
That was really unlucky there for the lane not to die. As we can see, there's still now 3 people on the top side. This bot lane has been left online. No one cares about bot lane in this game. As we see that Trundle should be going for the Herald here to try and take it off the map as quick as possible. As instead, he's going to go for his Grump. Not a player I agree with at all. Getting the Rift Herald off the map gives you a lot more control to get those 2 plates essentially covered in you. So that's at least 320 gold going straight into your team, which at this point, considering the gold is now even, could just push you over the edge a little bit further to give you that aggression to destroy the enemy's nexus.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I'm really surprised that Big Dog Entourage weren't able to get the kill on towards Rover. That Ornhorn did go wide there, and there were a few aspects of the combo that did go wide. And now Kush Marbles does have the decoy and the E jumping onto Pyro 4 there, but just some more trading going on. Not much happening between the top laners here. If anything, I think Ornn is kind of in a comfortable state right now. Um does have the plated steel caps and does have the bramble vest, so definitely has a lot of room to work with trading against this Wukong.
This is really good. As a top laner, Jason, you will know this sort of thing. But as an on, getting kills, getting CS is literally nothing you really care about. As long as you're matching levels, as long as you're not at least 2 levels behind, I'd say, having on in the game is exactly where you want him. You want him scaled. You want him to be able to give over those items. His engage is so strong in the later game. Him just being relevant is exactly what they need to succeed. So Meme City not shutting down this on is something they might want to look back on depending on how the rest of this game goes.
Yeah, absolutely. See, Grand Royal forces the flash out of Bugby right now. Hook goes onto the Collector in the bot side. Some fights going on all over the map. Rover getting Trundle Pillared, caught in that gravity field, but not enough damage. Able to pick up the kill on towards the Lilia. So it looks like Uncle Squatch flashing forward with the Chaos Storm, trying to pick off Rover in the meanwhile, but Kush Marbles does get that Cyclone down as well and picks up the kill. So disaster for Big Duck Entourage in that top side, not able to pick up the kill on towards Bugby, and just some tragedy overall. Definitely not the plays that we were expecting them to play. Go for.
So that's just the power of the Lily Lullaby. Falling asleep, a nice little drowsy moment as you can just clean up the enemies as simple as that, especially paired with the Vel'Koz. So we can see now that Meme City have got complete control over the second Drake, which is a Cloud Drake, which fingers crossed everyone, it will be a Mountain Drake. And it's not, we're seeing an Inferno Drake. So as the game goes on, we're going to get more and more attack damage and more ability power. So there's going to be a lot more fights happening, which I'm sure for all the viewers involved is exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone loves to mangle and go for these crazy fights. You see, Grand Royal is trying to defend this vision, but Bugby does have a lot of that damage in Vel'Koz, so that the true damage burst definitely really chunking out Grand Royal here, who even though does have the Merc Tread, still isn't able to still get chunked out to half health. As you see here, if we look at the state of the map right now, we see Wukong and Vel'Koz both have those nice shutdowns on their head. And Tristan as well does have a 10 CS lead over the Felios, so some good scaling from the side of Meme City.
Really good scaling going on. If you have a quick look at the items, there's nothing really that's sort of standing out as sort of unique. We're seeing 2 lost chapters on the side, Meme City, and 1 on the Victor. One thing I would like to point out is on the Fresh, we have Boots of Swiftness. So usually you would see a Fresh going Boots of Mobility. Gives you a bit more speed, but you sort of pay off for that for when you get hit. You lose that speed for a brief amount of seconds. This gives you a bit flat, more movement speed, which in theory should give Fresh the chance to roll more. And come to this 13-minute mark, we haven't seen Fresh really leave lane just due to the pressure of the standard Lulu. But I'm hoping now we can see Fresh really roam around the map and make his presence really known around Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, definitely. There is that window for some of these plays to happen. As speaking of plays happening, Kush Marbles does put down the Cyclone in the top side. The Searing Charge does get Power 4 away for it now, but does use the W Bellows Breath as well. Kush Marbles going into a bit more, doesn't have that last Q to pick up the kill. And so kind of Kush Marbles interrupting me there, but I was saying how, we do have 3 minutes until the Dragon, so definitely a good window for Arteta to go for some of these roams here.
So the game is now sort of getting to this nullified state where all laners are sort of wanting to farm up, whereas everyone's sort of getting closer and closer to their mythic spikes, exactly where you want them to be. So the Philios really just want to scale, and I assume looking at the team comp, we might be going for a sort of shields bow. It's hard to tell because we just have an Nuke, as we get a hook in the bot lane.
Hook does go down, but nothing to follow up there. Yeah, bot lane has definitely, been really quiet here. Not much going down here. Arteta cancels the recall of Josie, but is he going to regret that? Does get that jump on towards the Thresh, but it looks like just going to be some more cooldowns burnt for the side. No, not cooldowns, but just going to be some more health bars burnt down low for both support and bot laners of respective teams. Now, we are 2 minutes until Dragon Spawn, so definitely still a lot more of this scaling, less fighting that we're so used to here in AGL. And so, I'm really looking forward to when these fights do happen, though. There's going to be a lot of explosive action.
Yeah, you can sort of feel the way the teams are playing. They are sort of waiting for that one team fight to push them over the edge. See a bit of back and forth in the top lane, not really amounting to much. So with 1 minute 50 on the next dragon spawn, and what I really want to be seeing teams doing is going for vision across the dragon side. As Ornn's going
Yeah,
in,
Power 04 does get that Searing Bellows Breath on towards Kush Marbles, does go for the Q, does have the Ornhorn coming in as well. Is it going to be the solo kill? Yes, it is! Shutdown going towards Power 04. Really well played from the side of Ornn. Really just landing all those key abilities and weaving in those autos, getting those grass props. And, you know, as an Ornn enthusiast myself, that is definitely what you like to see.
Solo Bolo in the top lane, so getting that kill provides so much pressure around the map. Wukong is now off the map, so he's going to now to make the choice, especially with Dragon spawning in a minute when he gets up. Does he go top lane to waste his teleport and perhaps get a couple, like maybe a wave or two, or does he just go bot side, giving On the chance as he's on his way top to push the lane further, get more CS, get some more aggression on towers? Looks like Wukong is going top, so looks like both top laners are going, you know what, we're going to TP for this Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Rover isn't that top side. Neither team's really moving down towards you know, bot side and looking for vision. I have to say that Bugby does put down that far side altercation, that blue trinket. See here, support and mid laners are meeting up here in the river. As you see here, Uncle Squash is off a recall as well. But Bugby does have that Leandries, which is you know, a huge spike. You know, Big Duck Entourage only have the Mortal Shield Bow on harm issues, whereas you know, if you look at Meme City, they have the Divine Sunderer, they have the Leandries, they have the Kraken Slayer. So some huge item spikes for Meme City in this dragon fight, if there is a fight even.
Looking at items specifically, the way the game's going, if I was the Ducks, I think I might concede this dragon. We got an earlier dragon, it's fine, we can give up this one. 5 more minutes to get items, special on Victor, special into Chundo to get completed time is probably what they need in terms of team fights. Starting having the Kraken Slayer, especially with the Halo Blades, means she's going to be so aggressive, do so much damage, get so many resets. It's looking quite scary as the Ducks look like they're going to set up for the dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. Ducks are starting the dragon here. Power 4, in fact, Harm Issues tanking a bit of the damage from the Infernal Dragon. Now, he does have the white and red guns with him, so looking really good in terms of damage angles here. Grand Royal does get knocked up by that Vel'Koz E, and so both teams really kind of just dancing around this dragon here. The dragon dance continuing. It could be a smite fight here. Now the E does go down on towards the Thresh and the Ornn. Power 4 does sound the Ornhorn going in towards the pit. Red team picks up a kill onto the dragon. Anteta flash plays nothing. Good Chaos Storm coming down as well, but it looks like the Ornn kind of in trouble in the boss. Harm Issues being picked off by Kush Marbles as well. Bugby is on a killing spree as well. Big Duck Entourage falling everywhere. Not so big now. Only one alive left for them. Meme City pick up the dragon and the huge teamfight win.
That was a massive play there by Meme City, slowly bait them into the dragon. The Ono really didn't connect with much as it gave Meme City the chance to go straight in with the Lilia Flash Q to get the Lullaby onto as many people as possible. That time was good as over. With the Vel'Koz poke and Tristana, like I was saying, if I was a Duck, I would have just given that dragon. It's fine. Five minutes, we can wait 5 minutes. It's now because of that, they've lost their mid tier 1, their mid tier 2, their Inferno Dragon, and now they're going to all reset and come back on the map with a sheer amount of gold difference. It's going to just be absolutely ballistic. Currently sitting at just under 5,500. It's looking really hard for the Ducks here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, once we get into these kind of crazy gold leads, I always have this. My favorite saying is always, you know, talking about how you just slap them with your wallets. See here, Josie is up entire Zeal item here. You know, Bugby still has that item lead over Uncool Squash, who is yet to pick up the Ludens. So definitely, you know, a lot to work on there. And neither junglers have their mythic item, but if you see here, Kush Marbles well on his way towards building, I believe, what looks like a Black Cleaver. So, you know, Meme City definitely feeling good about themselves after that fight. And, you know, like you said, you know, a lot of that scaling that BD could afford to have, you know, just gets denied because of a poorly played fight. You know, we saw Thresh flash play nothing. We saw the Ornhorn kind of not going towards the team fight. You see Harm Issues might call here. Losing Lullaby does go down onto the Aphelios. The Aphelios is sound asleep. Looks like Rover's Pillar. Rover is going to get canceled out by the Pillar. Grand Royal, really good presence of mind there to, you know, just make sure that Harm Issues can survive can buy some space and survive for a bit longer.
That was a really interesting play there using the Lilio. I don't really see there was much kill for it there. I suppose didn't see Trundle being there. So it looks like It looks like they're going back.
Smite
Grand
does
Royals
go
have
down
no.
on towards Rover, does pick up the blue, but Buckbee's on a rampage, the 2 damage, melting Grand Royal there. You know, Grand Royal really definitely stepping up just a bit too far, trying to trade some damage onto Rover, but looks like Buckbee with that Fountain Laser, with that Leandry's, able to pick up the kill. Now Josie does go in on towards Haramishu's. Haramishu's looking like in trouble here, does have that Moonlight Vigil coming down, but looks like the Tristana is able to pick up the kill thanks to that wild growth as well from the Lulu. And so it's 20 minutes in, and we already see Meme City are pushing in on towards the inhibitor towers.
Power of a Lulu and a Tristana that are both fed. The Whimsy's really coming up strong. As it looks top lane, scrapping back and forth. Will we see any sort of turnaround from Kush Marbles?
Yeah, Kush Marbles definitely going for it here. Power 4 chunked out extremely, though. Kush Marbles does have that Cyclone as well. And it looks like Rover is in the top side here. It's a whole party up here, all for one Ram God. And Josie is on a killing spree right now. 3-0 and 2 on this Tristana. Definitely looking like he's taking over. Now we're in this mid-game phase.
So this was a really... You could just see that the Ducks are slowly crumbling after a really good early game, I must say. A really good early game by them to get enough Summoners burn and really play around the Trundle. They're just now sort of chasing their tail between their legs as they're following Meme Set around the map and not reacting, not being proactive. If we quickly look at this bot side, the bot tower's been there for so long. First tower goal has been gone a long time ago, but we can just push in this wave, pushing more waves, get the gold. We're just leaving it standing there. It's a free gold for the team that really needs it. Victor went down there and then he came back, and then Alphelios is down there. He's not pushing it. The tower's probably going to fall. He might not even get the gold because he's so far out of range. So, in terms of a complete macro thing, the Ducks just aren't really seem to be getting on the same sort of wavelength what exactly they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know it's starting to show in all departments. Honestly, you can look at you know, the whole item lead for the Tristana. Yeah, pretty much the components for Black Cleaver are about to be completed for the Kush Marbles. Lilia also up around half an item. The Bugbee also close to finishing that demonic embrace by the looks of it. And Lulu has that Shurelya's where the, you know, Thresh only has that. Well, Thresh doesn't have anything. So, you know, a lot of these macro mistakes and kind of, you know, issues that came up in their game, in the way that they execute these fights, definitely starting to reflect in the item discrepancies too. As you see, 10 seconds till Dragon. BD are looking to maybe try sneak away the Baron here.
This is, I would call these plays end of the road plays. The Ducks, I feel, recognize are so far behind they need to do something. Whether they need to take a fight they might not necessarily want to take, but either they do that or they're slowly going further down as the red team get the second Inferno Drakes at them on 3 Drakes. It looks like Meme Set have recognized them.
Baron on 4k HP right now. Grand Royal extremely low. Kush Marbles looking for a hero play. Does get that Cyclone down. Grand Royal forced to flash out as well. Power 4 kind of caught a no man's land here. Bella's Breath does go down, but huge sleep coming down. 3 men going down as well. Harem issues forced to flash out as well. And it looks like Uncle Squash is going to get killed here. And the Baron call really greedy from the side of BDE. And it looks like Meme City are able to punish it.
So that was a really greedy call, as you were saying. They needed to do something. Whereas take the Baron, maybe not necessarily, maybe it's force a fight. But what can I say from Rover having the game of his life, 2-0-9 on this Lilia, really showing up today, really showing them that Lilia is still a viable champion. A champion that I hold close to my heart. And thank you, Rover, for showing off the way he should be shown off.
Yeah, absolutely. Red team picks up the Baron here, and you know, it's just looking like it's a 10k gold lead at 23 minutes. You know, you're looking at the, you know, people come out of the shops and you see here 2.5 items now, 2 and a bit items here coming in for Josie, coming in for Kush Marbles, coming in for Rover, whereas BDE still stuck on that 1 item breakpoint, and it's not looking like BDE is gonna, you know, it's not looking any better for them right now. Some of them are stuck at item points too. You look at the Victor, you know, looking to go for that Saras, but you know, a large rod is a very expensive investment and doesn't look like he's going to be able to get that anytime soon, I think.
So on the plus side for the Ducks, Meme City aren't going to get much stronger in terms of iron. They've all reached their spikes, apart from Justana, who's going to reach level 16. And it looks like Grand Royal has been cut out.
Looks like Grand Royal has been caught out again. Lilting Lullaby does go down, does have the Blast Mount over, but Rover delivered right into the hands of Uncool Squash. Now, Uncool Squash does get that nullifying orb come down. Chaos Storm comes down on towards the Victor as well, but it looks like it's a killing spree for the side of Rover. Now, Uncool Squash does pick up the return kill on towards the Lilia, but it's a 3-for-1 for the side of Meme City. And it looks like they're going to be able to push down mid for the end.
And it looks like Moon City should be able to end this push, especially with the Tristana and the Lulu Whimsy assisting Tristana to as much damage as she wants to do. And it looks like they're not even going to go for the end. They're playing very safe. I like this. I really like this. Not forcing it. They are so far ahead. They know they've probably won this game. There's no need to rush it at this point. They're so far in front. They can easily take all the towers, have a really strong mark performance, and get into the head of the Ducks. As we didn't say, this is a best of 3 series. So mind games really showing here by Meme City.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see here, Kush Marbles has picked up that tier 2 tower in the bot lane. It looks like Josie and the rest of the squad are going to be able to pick up this tier 2 in the top lane too. And so, kind of base is falling apart for the side of BDE, who passed that first blood gank on towards Bugby. Haven't really, shown any quacks of life here.
I like that. I like that, Jason. So as we can see, the items slowly and slowly coming out. The large rod has came out for the Victor and the Spectral How for the Trundle. So so now the on items are slowly getting it coming out. He's finally got his one. And we'll see as hopefully in the Duck's eyes get to level 16 and so they'll get more items. But Meme City have had enough. Looks like they might just push in this top tower.
Yeah, absolutely. As Ateta getting chunked out so much, Thresh on a sliver of health now, pretty much just not able to be a part of the fight here. It looks like Josie and the rest of the squad are pushing down on towards this top inhibitor. It looks like mid inhibitor gonna be falling pretty soon, has fallen as well. And, it's looking like they could go for the game-ending push here. Now, Power 04 does get that knock-up onto the Tristana, but not enough damage there. And it looks like Baron buff is timed out too, and in perfect timing as well. 50 seconds until this Infernal Soul is up.
Yeah, so all three, no, the top and mid inhibs have gone, so we've got all the super minions coming to them. That's given us so much more experience for the Ducks just to farm the waves. With the super minions coming, you will always have the minions coming to you. It's nearly impossible for them to come against you unless you're heavily pushing it. So this can get the Felios as much gold as he wants, the Trundle as much gold he wants. The Victor can finally start getting that excelled. The only problem is, on the side of the Ducks, is Infernal Drake is coming up in 30 seconds, and that would be the Infernal Soul from Meme City, something we do not want them to have if we want any chance coming back into this game.
Yeah, without a doubt. As you see here, 15 seconds until that Dragon Spawn's harm issues. He's trying to push out vision, but look at that one Vel'Koz Q. Chunks out a third of his HP. Definitely, not just a third, a half of the HP of the Aphelios. So already not off to a good start in terms of fight here for BDE. Now, Power 04 is in the front line trying to walk up and lead the squad forward. Ornhorn goes down really far, goes onto Buckby, but not enough range. Power 04 does get that searing charge on towards the Vel'Koz in the backline. Flashes forward as well, but Rover with a great sleep in that backline as well. Picks up harm issues as well. Josie jumps in as well with the Tristana. Flashes forward, picks up the kill on towards the Aphelios. Atena is able to pick up that return kill on towards the Thresh, but Grand Royal, it looks like it's just going to be one lonely troll and one dead Duck Entourage as the TPs are coming in mid, and it looks like that's going to be game one.
Game one hands over to Meme City with a really dominating performance overall. Complete macro control and really took the Ducks for exactly what they're worth. They made sure to crunch any single mistake that came out. And MVP for that for me, as I've already said, Rover, those flash Qs to get the lullaby onto the backline so the Felos can't do anything is exactly what Meme City needed to do, and they performed extraordinarily well with their team comp.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, what thoughts do you have moving into that second game, moving into game 2 if you're a BDE?
If I'm champion like Nocturne, it shuts off vision and makes the Ducks have to work together. They have to be vocal. They have to communicate well. This is a really good sort of drafting from Meme City with the Galio coming in. So we can see the J4 Galio combo. So Galio's still being a flex between the mid and support. I would sort of expect it to be more of the mid lane pick, but we'll see as the bans go on. But this sort of collect them all up and then Galio dive in is something that's going to be really good for them. Get this sort of wombo combo, gives them a bit more of an easier time to execute and draft.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's gonna look like once again, BDE opting for that Riven ban for the side of Kush Marbles. They really don't want him on that champion. Now, please ban Wukong here if I'm BDE because that yeah,
Yeah,
as
there
they
you
do,
go.
because that was definitely a thorn in their side. The monkey definitely ramming that pole places where it shouldn't be for the ducks, and so definitely that got them into a lot of trouble. So I really like the fact that they banned it out now, and it could be a potential counter pick as well for BDE on this red side now.
What I'm hoping for is BD take their top lane. I'm seeing that he's played Mundo. We could get the on again. The on was completely fine. They all work really well into sort of comp. So I'm kind of more leaning towards just some picking it on here or the set. So this is a really interesting pick. So this still hasn't given anything away. Set could be top mid support. So we really don't know anything. So with the great drafting of Moon City to use the Nocturne to sort of go the team weaknesses, set as a drafting weakness here so they can see, not give anything away. So they still have to take something blind as they take the Ari into the mid lane.
Yeah, Ari is definitely one of those Buckby picks, absolutely a signature of his, a very a classic pick of his. Definitely interested to see how the matchup in that mid lane, but against that Galio goes. Definitely will be pretty fun here as we see Meme City will have to lock in this top laner blind for the side of Kush Marbles. Now he did get his Riven and Wukong ban, so it's definitely gonna be a champion that he isn't as proficient on compared to those other two power picks. So let's just give it a few seconds here and see, what they kind of offer us. You see, it's going to be the Scion for Kush Marbles. Definitely an interesting pick.
So we have the Siren here, which is a pick I don't really understand because we don't know if set's going to be top or support yet. And from my knowledge, set into Siren is pretty set favored. Set can do whatever he really wants to in lane. So this pick is very confusing towards me. It doesn't really give anything away. Looking at sort of Kush Marbles Shamfield, that it could have been Cho, could have been um pretty much Cho would have been good here. To get LeBlanc and the R5 to go against Ari, a really fun matchup this is going to be in this mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it does mean that it could be either set support or Galio support, which is going to be interesting. I'm curious to see which one it is. Both aren't as popular as supports now, but still definitely viable in those respects. And so, looking at these drafts here, I really like BDE's draft. They definitely have some easy, reliable engage with that Jarvan Galio baby cage. They have the set for the peel. They have the LeBlanc and Ezreal, who if they get resources can do a lot of damage. So I like BDE's draft here, Dom. What do you think about Meme City's draft?
City have a really confusing draft. We have the Nocturne, Leona, and Siren, who main's purpose is just want to dive in, but they're going to have to go against this really hard front line of BD with Set, Galio, and Jarvan sort of doing it all. The Kaiser doesn't really make much sense to me, especially the way it's going. They've got two of their carries, being the Kaiser and the Arya, really focused on one champion at a time. Fair enough, Arya's abilities can go through some champions, but they both of them really want to just focus on one champion at a time. So they want to essentially dive onto this Ezreal. But if they dive onto this Ezreal, this LeBlanc is getting to do whatever she wants to in fight. It's cooldown dependent. So I think Meme City are going to have a real tough time here, especially if it gets into the later stages. So Meme City sort of signifies to me they sort of want to do exactly what they've done the last game and wait for the Ducks to make all their mistakes before they just slowly and slowly get the game out of hand. Because Kaiser and Ari, as much as said, do have their weaknesses, especially in single target abilities, especially against into this comp that the Ducks have. If they get ahead, they are a nuisance to deal with and very hard to control.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that being said, we're gonna be moving to a break just to deal with our little client spectate delay. And so don't go anywhere because we'll be right back for game two of Meme City Paradox versus Big Duck Entourage. All right, and welcome back on towards Summoner's Rift. Once again, I'm Jason5. I'm with Domish, and we're loaded on here for game two of Meme City Paradox versus BDE in this week one play-ins for Aegis Guardians League.
Really excited to see what's going to happen in the second game here. Meme City had a pretty sloppy start, but managed to slowly bring it back through the mistakes of the Ducks. But Ducks, in my mind, have such better draft, as we can finally confirm the set is top lane and the Galio is in support.
Yeah, absolutely. See here, Rover does get that Q on towards Uncool Squasher, chunking out the LeBlanc quite a lot. Definitely might, yeah, forces a recall out of Uncool Squash in that mid lane as well as I'm looking at some of these summoners as you see here. Buckby does have that aggressive ignite going on for him. So definitely really interesting to see. And Harm Issues does have that cleanse as well.
This cleanse is going to be really is going to be the focal point for Meme City, especially in terms of their engages. The Leona has so many tools to try and get rid of the cleanse, as well as as well as the Nocturne. So this cleanse is an extreme precaution cleanse, just because he doesn't really have much peel in terms of the sort of champions he's working with. A lot of the champions on his side, like the Set, the Jarvan, all want to go forward, even the Galio questionably. So Ezreal is going to have to sort of fend for himself. So we've got to see how Harry Issues really deals with this. I'm expecting good things, but you never know, especially in the Aegis League.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see here, just standard starts for both junglers. Both going to be pathing from bot to top here. And it's gonna be, standard clears for both Grand Royal and Rover. Nothing too special to see here. The level 1 as well. As you see here, a Power 04 is getting aggressive on towards Kush Marbles. Does get the half health on towards the Scion with that face breaker. So definitely a lot of damage coming down on towards the side of Kush Marbles.
See, Granra is going for this buff grub into the mid gang, which exactly what he did in the last game is Buckby going to fall for it in the same way he did the last game.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, that level 2 as well. But look at the mid lane. Charm coming down on towards Uncle Squash. But it looks like Bugby does get tagged up there. Trying E goes down on towards the Ari as well. And so much action going down here. But, still no Summoner's Burn, which is nice. And no kills this time around too.
Buckby played that really well. I feel he had this sort of intuition that this was going to happen. And essentially what he's done is just wasted a lot of Grand Royal's time. So he's so much behind in tempo. He's only just getting his red buff. He's only done 2 camps, so he's going to get level 3 of this at around about the 3-minute mark. So it's sort of where you normally would be. But coming to this top skull fight where both junglers are, Rover's going to be level 4 if he manages to do this grump at the same time, which I can't really see if he's doing. I don't think he is. Well, they're going to be this. He's going to have a level advantage over the Jarvan, which could just turn everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of a same pattern from game 1 too, where Grand Royal did go for that early gank in terms of did go for the early ganks and sacrificing his kind of his own farming, but it looks like he is gonna be able to secure this top crab actually. So Rover is gonna do some deviation from his usual pathing, but because it does look like his ball lane is getting bot lane is getting pushed in a lot, so it could be an opportunity for a gank. As Kush Marbles forced to flash out as well from the Grand Royal flag and drag, and so pretty some stale laning going on here. But it looks like Uncle Squash does get tagged by the charm. Huge damage going on towards the LeBlanc here from Buckby, really showing off why that's one of his signature picks.
There's a lot of lane pressure going on. I was actually really smart from Rover not to go for this top skull. Set had Prow in the lane, so he'd get there first, and LeBlanc and I would get at the same time, but it just made things a lot easier for both of them involved.
Yep,
So going
and you're
to this
completely right.
yeah, going to that bottom crab is exactly what he wanted, just so it gets to the map. It's fine to handshake and trade them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have 30 seconds until Dragon, so I'm curious to see which team is going to offer that first, as Rover here is walking up, moving forward on towards Ateta. Now, the Justice Punch does cancel out by the Collector, but it looks like the Flash E coming in from the Collector too. First blood goes towards Josie on this Kaisa. Very good, awareness from the side of Rover, using the lack of vision that Big Duck Entourage had to pick up the kill.
It was also a really good flash there by the Collector to jump over the Galio, so the would knock onto her instead of him getting away. So it's really smart play to fund the flash for the first blood to go, especially into the case that, as we were saying, is only really a threat when ahead. So exactly what you really want. So really well played there by Meme Side. Sort of play to their sort of team comp and sort of adapt how the game's going.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You see here, Grand Royal is in this bot side, trying to get some vision on towards the Raptors. Question mark pings coming down, both on the mid laner jungler. Grand Royal is going to be able to spot out the chickens. Goes in with the EQ, misses the knockup on towards Rover. Big Raptor goes towards Rover as well. Grand Royal might be in trouble. Buckby is roaming up first, does get the Q charm as well. Buckby picks up the kill on towards Grand Royal. Ignite drop down as well, and it's looking like a disaster for this Jarvan right now.
This Jarvan is not having any fun in this game so far. Jarvan is, again, one of these champions you sort of have so much playmaking potential, but you really need to use it. Otherwise, you are just sort of like a really strong super minion. As it all went from set.
Yeah, as ult coming in from set as well. Power Force 2 levels above Kush Marbles. Does have that W as well. Is he going to offer a W? Not enough grid stacks, so not going to be able to pick up the kill there. But definitely really aggressive from the side of Power 4. And, you know, going for these crazy plays on towards Kush Marbles, and it's paying off. He's 2 levels easy. Once again, Facebreaker comes down as well. Kush Marbles might be in trouble here. Does get the knock up on towards the set as well. Rover is in the vicinity. Now, Power 4 doesn't have the W, so it looks like it's going to be a free kill towards the jungler of Meme City Paradox.
That was just a complete disrespect by Parrot for there. He got the Orin onto Sion. Sion got away. Then as soon as Sion walks back in, it should be clicking in his head that Rover is there for a counter gang. Because it looks like the Ducks are setting up some sort of counter engage here.
Yeah, absolutely. So many summoners being coming in here as well. Uncool Swash is able to pick up the kill on towards Rover, and Grand Royal picks up the kill on towards Kush Marbles. But in the bot lane, Ateta going in as well. Harm Issues trying to trade back some damage as well. Justice Punch going down on towards the Kaisa. Josie trying to deal as much damage as possible. Ignite going on to the Galio. Is he going to kill? Yes. Collector picks up the kill on towards the Galio. So a lot of fighting going down on the map here, and it looks like Meme City once again coming out on top.
Overall, it's 2-for-2. It looks like more action.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you. More action going down here. The chains do land on towards the Ari from Buckby, and Grand Royal is in the vicinity as well. But Paranoia comes down on towards the Jarvan. Grand Royal's in trouble. Rover picks up the kill. 2-1 and 2 on the Nocturne right now. Uncle Squash forced to use the distortion in his way, and it looks like there's a lot of action and mangling going down.
So much wrong there with that play by Grandma. There's no need to overchase it. They managed to scare Ari off, get them a lot of lane pressure to crash in the wave so to make them reset. There was just so much that overzealous greed that's going on. We sort of noticed from the last game. As we can see, that Meme City are now going for this first drag, and it looks like it's going to be easily secured and picked up by them.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, definitely a lot of tempo plays just going in the favor of Meme City. And so, you know, it really begs to think, you know, what kind of went wrong for BDE in the early game here? What would you say were kind of some, you know, crucial things that led to this situation?
They just played too much for the same pathing as last time, done exactly the same thing. It was caught out, which is fine. Do the same thing, but it's just been caught out, and it seems to be a recurring theme in their gameplay from what we've been going on for the sort of league. As speaking about other lanes, we're seeing a lot of strong pressure from this set. So we need to be playing around him. It's completely fine to leave other lanes right now. He is your strong point. LeBlanc is ahead as well. So we really just need to be making sure that Nocturne isn't just getting accelerated so he can expose these weaknesses when he decides it's time to turn the lights out.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, one thing that I really like how Rover's been playing this game so far. Definitely, you know, really good pathing, really good use of the paranoia as well. It's definitely been a crucial factor as to why Meme City be so ahead. See the Leona ult comes down as well. Kaisa Killer Instinct goes in as well. Ateta does pick up the kill on towards the Collector. Exhaust going down on towards Josie. Harm Issues trying to deal as much damage as possible. W goes down on towards the Kaisa, but Harm Issues is killed off by Josie, and it looks like it's going to be a 1-for-1 support for AD carry, but it looks like in the top lane, Power 4 is going to get engaged on by the Unstoppable from the Scion and the Nocturne. Uncool Squash trying to do as much damage as possible. Does have the chains, does have the distortion. Look at him go. He's all over the place. Uncool Squash trying to do as much damage as possible. Forced to flash away, and it looks like Rover is also there too. Grand Royal trying to do as much damage as possible, trying to see if he can pick up the kill on towards one of the carries, but it looks like it's all too dangerous. One more auto, one more ultimate. Dunk goes down, picks up the kill on towards Kush Marbles, and it looks like at the end of the day, it's going to be a 1-for-3 for the side of Meme City Paradox.
So Rover managed to get those 3 extra kills. One by one they came in. Something that teams need to realize. Going in one at a time never does anything, especially against 2. So that they're just slowly feeding this Nocturne kills. So now Nocturne's completely out of control. And what you don't want is Nocturne with all the kills, with all the gold, doing all the damage early on, just being able to freely dive onto your champions without much counterplay and just completely one-shot your team. It's not looking good for the Ducks.
Yeah, absolutely. That scene reminded me of a bunch of ducks lining up, kind of trying to cross the road, but the road that they're crossing is straight to their deaths. Is right as we see harm issues might be in trouble again, forced to use the arcane shift defensively. It gets half health so quickly, and so this bot lane, you're saying how Ezreal, supposed to have an easy time, but just based on the scores and based on the numbers spell disaster for harm issues.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I've seen more skirmishes in the top lane.
Yeah, in the mid lane as well. Bugby, you might be in trouble. Forced to use the flash and the spirit rush away. Looks like Grand Royal did get a gank off in that mid lane. But no, you were saying about the top lane. Once again, Rue goes down on towards Ateta, forced to use the Justice Punch, forced to get the aftershock off. Does have the heroic entrance to save himself. And I can't catch a breath here, Dom. It looks like all that they're doing is fighting. They heard me talking some smack in game one. Is once again Kush Marvel's in the top lane. Does get hit with the flag and drag. Does get hit with a flash suppression from the set as well. The showstopper coming down as well. And it looks like BD are able to pick something up on the board.
Really good comeback play. They're sort of trying to funnel through this top side. You can see that sort of the way teams playing now is they want to really adapt the side to the top lane. You see bot lane looks like they might get dived. As Nocturne's doing some really good counter jungling here as the bot lane is trying to scare him away from the Gromp. That's our Gromp, not his Gromp.
Yeah, absolutely. Agatha Agatha caught between two teams here and does get picked up by Rover. A minute till Mountain Dragon comes up, so hopefully that smite does spin up in time. But in the meanwhile, in the top lane, Power 4, even though he is 0-2 and the team is feeling quite behind, he is able to pick up some tower plates in that top lane. Is able to have a sizable CS lead over Kush Marbles, but once again, the half health set trying to fight against the Scion right now, maybe not as doable. Kush Marbles gets the full Q on towards the set, but it looks like it's gonna be the kill over towards the Scion. Power 04 does dodge away from that E, but Kush Marbles picks it up with that decimating smash, and Power, I was just gonna say Power 04 doing pretty well, would have had a decent gold lead, but once again, just gives away another kill towards Kush Marbles.
A common thing you find, especially in solo lane, is if you're playing against a champion that's maybe a bit tanky, as you're talking about your Scion. If the Galley was in mid lane, you automatically think they just don't do damage. But perfect example, Scion still packs a punch if you let him pack a punch. So completely, all the tempo, all the momentum that was going on in this top lane is now just being completely lost. Is Scion has been able just to kill Jarvan, get the reset, and they're both on this armor boots. But we have the Bammies on the Scion, which I'd rather take right now, the way the game's going.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Mountain Dragon is up, and it does look like Beam City Paradox are in position to take it. They are clearing out vision in this bot side river, so definitely poised to pick it up and get themselves that much closer to Soul Point. Grand Royal is coming out of base, so it doesn't look like Big Duck Entourage are able to contest this, and so yeah, free dragon for the side of Meme City. Tower plates are just gonna fall off soon, and it's going to be a 5,000 gold lead just shy of 14 minutes.
And we are going to get a Ocean Soul for Game 2's ref. Ocean Soul giving you so much regen over the game. But it's very easy counterable, just making sure to get that anti-heal effort goes through. Taking a quick second to look at how the teams are going, we can see the Nocturne and the Kai'Sa are really where all the main gold is going, especially with Kai'Sa having a 33 gold lead. And the Nocturne having an incredible 40 CS gold lead from a jungler. Incredible, you want to see just complete pathing kingdom going on right now.
Yeah, as you see here, sorry to interrupt, but it looks like Uncle Squash does not have any mana left, forced to use that ultimate distortion to try to get away, but it looks like in the bot side as well, Rover does get that paranoia on towards Ateta, but it looks like the safety of the tower is going to keep him alive. So a couple ultimates committed here, but no results coming down. Red team does pick up the first tower in that top side, which is definitely very interesting. You'd expect with gold leads like these, towers would be picked up a bit earlier. I see here Flag and Drag going on towards Rover. Grand Royal trying to cage the Nocturne away. Set does get that huge Justice Punch down as well. Ultimate coming down. Showstopper picks up the shutdown. 650 gold going on towards Power 04. The Kai'Sa being picked off as well. But it's a 2-for-1 so far. Teta trying to run for his life. Flashes down towards that bot side river. The Ezreal was not there for that fight, Dom.
Don't seem to be on the same page. The Ducks are sort of flying in different directions here. Half of them are going in, half of them are going out. LeBlanc was in base. Ezreal was bot side. I don't know why we're trying to get this. But as we do see a pause come out in the game.
This is a pause. Now, does look like we will be kind of having to step away from the pause, but as a result of that fight, I think definitely it looks so good in so many occasions. Grand Royal was able to isolate the Nocturne. Set was able to pick down a huge shutdown onto the Kai'Sa, but just the numbers difference meant that they weren't able to do anything more.
This game just, seems to be sort of going from a replay from the last game. The Ducks aren't really playing as a team as the game started to load back up, but the Ducks aren't seeming to play as a team. They're playing as 5 individuals right now, and means City clearly have a bit more experience together and just seem to be playing the map a lot more as a team compared to the Ducks.
Yeah, absolutely. As we apologize for this kind of, it does look like this game is a bit kind of stuck here. So we're gonna wait till we're gonna give it a second just to see if it'll rebuffer. As yeah, we're gonna be we'll be back. And
The
well,
curse of
not
the
we'll be back.
pause.
We are back here, and yeah, looks like just both teams opting kind of just go collect some farm. 3 minutes until Dragon. So definitely, huge shutdown still available for the side of Big Duck Entourage to collect here. And I think, if I'm BDE, what should I be, kind of thinking about and going for next?
What I was saying to BD as a coach right now is just to really hold things back. You want to sort of get momentum back in your favor, sort out with the waves, decide where you want to play for, get a lot more vision in your jungle and in their jungle. Just have a bit more of aggression because if we look at the side of Meme City, there's no wards in their jungle. Nocturne's getting to do whatever he wants with no intuition from where they're going to be. So this is a perfect example of how Nocturne wants to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hoping, or I'm wondering, I'm curious if we can get production to kind of see the gold differences right now and specifically where they lie. Because Kai'Sa 2,200 gold above the Ezreal. That's crazy.
Oh, that's
The
yeah,
jungle as well.
that gold difference in the bot lane is just talking 3/4 of a mythic item. As we said right at the very beginning when we seen Kai'Sa was drafted, Kai'Sa is only good when ahead. Kai'Sa is so much more counterplay that's easy to it. As you can see, it looks like she's going to go for the wet sand as well to deal with the LeBlanc, and she's going to slowly be unkillable.
Yeah, the paranoia comes down on towards Power 4, forced to use the flash as well, but the train comes in on towards Power 4, knock up as well. CC chain forever does get that showstopper on towards Rover, does have the W, holding it on for just a bit longer. Power 4 is able to sidestep away from that decimating smash, and looks like he's able to survive for quite some time. Definitely a great outplay from the set, being able to survive for so long.
That was a really good play there by Power 4 to not die. He almost got a double kill there. It was a really good play just to sort of chill out and back out from it. I was really surprised I didn't see the heroic entrance
Oh,
coming.
sorry, see here, Grand Royal is jumping on towards Rover, does have that baby cage put down as well, but trying to do as much damage, but not enough damage from the side of the Jarvan. Where was the Galio ult when you need it? Rover, Penguin dabbing on him and letting him know that this is my jungle.
That's his jungle and no one steps inside Rover's jungle. No idea where anyone was. They just sort of did the exact same play without vision. I understand it, but the heroic entrance.
Stick going straight down onto harm issues. Josie is looking to be really aggressive here. Does have a huge amount of damage. Harm issues doesn't even have that Sunder completed. So, all the more reason for this Kai'Sa to kind of just go buck wild.
Yeah, this is a perfect game for Kai'Sa in terms of she can literally do what she wants as champion, just dive in. She has a lot of appealing tools, a lot of backup with her. So she can just sort of be in a nuisance. She can not even think about it, press on, just sort of hope for the best. She's so far ahead, she has nothing to worry about.
Yep, absolutely. As you see here, 10 seconds until this Ocean Dragon is going to come online. It is going to be soul point, so definitely, if I'm BDE, please just I would let this go and, just let the scaling go on for 5 more minutes, as it looks like that's what they are going to do. Power 4 is going to be in that top side pushing in one more wave, and it looks like it's just going to be the the squad for the side of BDE kind of moving in towards this mid lane and trying to establish some more better positions. You see here, Uncool Squash does get the flank over, does get the chains on towards the Kai'Sa, chunks out the Kai'Sa extremely, forces the flash out of Josie, but Uncool Squash is going to get caught out. Rover is dominating Collector, does go in with that Zenith Blade on towards the Ezreal, but not much more after that. Cleanse forced out of the Ezreal too. So attempted pick from the side of LeBlanc, but Josie just up too much on levels and, able to survive for so long.
Yeah, Josie's managing, as we've been saying for the past couple of minutes, she's getting the game of her life. She's so far ahead, especially with Nocturne support. She's got such a good front line as well. She literally has nothing to worry about. She can just sort of dive in and do exactly what she wants. The Ducks, although are looking a lot better in the last game, it's not all crumbled. There's still a chance to come back. They just really need to focus on this Drake. The next Drake is going to come up in about 4 minutes' time. It needs to be the vocal point. Otherwise, it's going to be game over and GG to the series.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing is I would like to see, it is a bit of a micro thing, but would like to see, AD carries, mid laners do pick up a bit more CS, trying to raise those numbers up, because that's where all the gold does lie.
We've seen a big difference, especially in this bot lane here. We're now looking at about a 50 CS lead, which is an unreal amount of gold you're talking about. We're talking about a grand in gold.
Yeah, and once again, is this a replay or something? Same play in the top side. Power 4 does get engaged on by both the Nocturne and the Scion. Ultimates used out from all three champions, as well as Kush Marbles is on a killing spree. 3, 3, and 5 on this Scion. Even though, you're supposed to be a tank, you're supposed to kind of take the punishment in that top lane. He's really, survived the pressure and, kind of won over Power 4.
I want to apologize for everyone at the start of this draft by saying it's just a tank, but he's done so much damage.
Oh, sorry. Once again, Buckbeam looks like he's going to get the solo kill onto Uncool Squash. Picks up the Spirit Rush, uses the Ignite, uses the E-Charm, and...
just a nice little solo ball there. Clearly, Buckbeam knows his limits on her. He knows his lethal points, and that exactly was one of them.
Yeah, but one thing Buckbeam might not know is when to call it a day. It looks like he might be in trouble here. Flash forced out, and looks like the taunt is coming in. Shutdown goes towards Grand Royal. 450 extra gold on towards the Prince of Demacia, but Rover and crew are in this top side trying to, kind of get the exchange of resources back, so it's not all too doom and gloom for MCP.
That's a really good macro play by Mean City to move as a unit into this top side, to clear it out, get as much resources as they can, to take it away from Grand Royal, who is already 2 levels behind actually, so he's now going to be struggling even more to get resources.
4 once again uses the face breaker on towards the Scion, but he's too tanky, man. Look at the Scion. He's not taking any damage. This Paranoia comes down, maybe looking for that play on towards the bot side, but looks like this time it's going to be Grand Royal. Does get that flag and drag out, flashes out as well, but Josie picks up that auto attack with the killer instinct, and one more kill on towards this Kai'Sa. 3, 1, and 4 right now. Ateta forced to flash and use the blast band as well. Uncool Squash in the backline gets a chain on towards the Kai'Sa. Heal forced out off the Kai'Sa too, but it looks like in the top lane as well, Power 4 trading heavily on towards Kush Marbles. Does have that unstoppable onslaught, picks up the W set, picks up the shutdown on towards the Scion. Rover is godlike. Meanwhile, Uncool Squash engaged on by the Zenith Blade, picks up the kill from the Kai'Sa. Josie, another kill for the Kai'Sa. 4, 1, and 1 now. And so, even though BDE did all that, Flash, Sparkle, and Bang, they only pick up 1 kill from it.
It was a complete whitewash in this top side jungle. Ducks have been exactly the same what happened last time. They're just playing into the hands of Meme City. They're getting to exactly what they want as a team, and they're clearly the most synergized out of the 2 teams, and it's just showing as their macro play happens throughout the Rift. It's Dragon is spawning in less than a minute. We can see a team reset, and I can imagine they're just going to go set vision for that Dragon.
Yep, absolutely. And, some of these numbers definitely, not what we want to be seeing. Grand Royal 4, 6, and 2 trying to do as much as he can on the map as well. And Power 4, I don't know if it's just you, but I think this is the first time he's going to be stepping out of top lane.
Yeah, we've not seen a lot of overall map movement in terms of any of the solo laners or any of the champions to be evolved apart from the junglers. So that's something both teams I feel we can work on going into the future of the Aegis League.
Yeah, absolutely. So you see here the whole squad kind of converging in on this bottom river. Uncool Squash does have teleport, does have maybe an item look here. Let's see here, Collector flashes in with that Zenith Blade. Rover coming in as well with a knockdown. Huge knocks up coming in everywhere. Set does have that W, does have that ultimate as well. Able to get a huge chunk of true damage. Gore Drinker as well, but not able to survive for long enough. Josie getting picked on by the LeBlanc, but no, you're not trapped here with me. Oh no, it's the wrong way around, but still Josie punishes the LeBlanc for trying to go in for that assassination, and it's going to be an ace for the side of Meme City Paradox.
Really big ace here, so they can secure the Ocean. So the only the Nocturne out is all four of them just start sieging into the base. Should to get at least tier 3 tower. They might even go for the inhibitor if they're feeling like it, but Baron is up. But it doesn't look like they're going to go for this time. It's a really strong play. Overall, that fight was just a complete mess in terms of coordination, in terms of the Ducks. But Meme City is showing they are a really strong team and not to be messed with.
Yeah, absolutely. Ocean Soul picked up as well, and not really much grievous wounds for the side of BDE. So it's gonna be such an uphill battle here for our Ducky friends because they have a lot of gold to make up for. It's a 13,000, oh sorry, 12,000 gold lead at 24 minutes.
It's complete annihilation at this point, essentially. As unless a nice little charm throughout, just sort of tease with the Galio. Quick look at the items, we can see there is not really that much of an item in the top lane as you'd expect how things are going. In the jungle, we have a full Sterix compared to the Phage. The Horizon Focus has just been bought by the Ari, who's a complete miles ahead of the LeBlanc. And the Kaiser is also the Wit's End, LDR, and Kraken Slayer compared to just the Divine on the Ezreal. So see, things are just becoming a bit of a team gap at this moment.
Yeah, it's not just the item gap, but if you look at the level gap as well, 1 level in top lane, 3 levels in the jungle, 2 in the mid lane, 2 in the bot lane, and 1 in support. Support levels matter a lot in terms of how ahead and behind the team is, and so Meme City really ahead by all accounts here, and so it's definitely just huge uphill battle for the side of BDE, as it looks like Meme City Paradox are going to get this Baron scot free.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do in terms of stopping this. They have to just sort of give it up unless they just want to throw the game, which they might want to do, you never know. But this Nash to me signifies then they're just going to group as 5, push, and then it looks like it's going to be a GG pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So you see here, mid wave is going to be pushed in from the side of Josie, and bot lane is going to be pushed in for the side of Kush Marbles. So they are looking to go for this double inhibitor siege here. Definitely, standard practice right now for Meme City, as Kush Marbles, him and his white armored car, able to kind of escort this wave in. Now Powerful trying to trade as much auto attacks onto him, but look at all that damage from the Scion, instant half health chunk. Kush Marble so strong. This Scion right now has all that armor, all those resistances to just keep him alive for so long. You see here towers falling like dominoes here for the side of Meme City Paradox. Grand Royal can only just watch as his base falls to tatters.
The base is now sort of get sieged by Meme City as they're slowly going to walk their way into the base. This is the time for the Ducks to really show this synergy. Time to use the Jarvan, time to use the Galio, just get involved and cause a bit of mayhem here. Don't give up your base this easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Buckbeat does pick up that inhibitor mid lane. Kush Marbles picks up that tower in the bot lane here. As this second inhibitor is going to get picked up too. BD need to pull the trigger soon, or else their Nexus towers are going to come under trouble too. You see here, Solar Flare does come down, lands on towards the Ezreal. Zenith Blade comes down as well, but it's really far away. Taunt goes down on towards the Leona Collector, is able to survive and get knocked up, but it looks like Paro 4 is the first one that's going to go down. Ateta Justice punches, but way too far away, forced to flash forward. Buckbeat hopping over with that Spirit Rush, gets a charm on towards the Jarvan, double kill for the Ahri here. 2-man taunt coming in from Ateta, but it looks like it's going to be Juicy and crew doing 3 damage on towards the Nexus, on towards the Fountain for the side of Meme City Paradox, and that's going to be game 2 in a clean 2-0 sweep.
Very clean 2-0 by Meme City there in this game, especially to take the base away from the Ducks in front of their own faces. Such disrespect, but really, really strong playing there by MCP in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that is going to be a 2-0. Really well played from Meme City in this first week of play-ins. And so, given that it is play-ins, you do need to win that second game to kind of put yourself in that favorable position for playoffs. So I'm really excited to see, who I'm not sure who they're gonna be up against next week, but I am excited to see them play again, especially since, they're definitely on this upward trend with a small win streak now.
Really excited to see the development of both of these teams. There's a lot of promise shown in both of them. I want to give major props to Rover, who had the series of his career, as I can see. Really strong Lilia gameplay, really strong knockdown player. This seems to be like the person that all teams need to watch going into the next couple series.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with all that being said, for the side of BDE, another loss for them, definitely quite disheartening. And so, they do have one more week of play-ins to try, pick up a win and try to redeem themselves. So, some hope there. And, what do you think they should kind of look to do to kind of fix that up?
Going to be a really fun couple of weeks coming up, and be tuned. Be assured to follow the Twitch and stay tuned to all the latest updates. As it looks like